skeleton athletes. If you're a bobsledder, you can listen if you want to, but some of this stuff will apply to you, but some of it won't. But if you have any questions, reach out to me and I will fill you in as much as possible, then refer you to someone else because I'm not a bobsledder. This is the next step in your skeleton sliding career. We're going to start this video off with what to bring. Think of this as like going to college and you're trying to prepare for your first class. What do you need to bring to be successful? Well, I'm gonna let you know. If you haven't been scared off already by pushing a sled on a rail, this is your chance to be amazed on ice. The first thing I'm going to talk about, what you need to bring, is those spikes. Remember those spikes I told you to get at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls? You need them. You're gonna need these. Again, this is why it's so important to not buy a $200 pair of spikes. You're gonna be going on ice. From the lower start, obviously. Start 4. You're gonna go 25 miles an hour, maybe. You want to use some old spikes, some practice spikes that you would never race them. Let's put it that way. Because you're going to need to tape or cover this to protect it, the toe. I'll explain later. But again, those spikes I talked about in the first video, you need those. Item number 2 is some old workout clothes. Do not, I repeat, do not bring your designer Instagram model gear. Don't wear that out here. It's gonna get ruined. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna get ruined. Bring some like old workout gear, your middle school sweater ladies, or guys, if you have some leggings that you've worn 2 years ago that are holes in the knees or something like that, bring those. Don't bring anything brand new. You're obviously gonna wanna wear tights, so it's gonna be a little colder than your rookie push championships. And you're going to want to bring something a little loose because you're going to want to put padding underneath. Again, we're going to get over this in a little bit. Just bear with me. Next, you're going to bring some gloves. There's going to be 2 sets of gloves. The first one I'm talking about is the winter gloves. Mitts. Now, it's probably November, around the time you're going to have your driving school. Late October, early November. And every store is going to have the winter gear out. So grab you some on sale. Get some mitts. The temperature's gonna be cold. You're in upstate New York, it's gonna drop a little bit. So personally for me, I have a very specific condition where, in a nutshell, I'm allergic to the cold. I got something bigger so I can wear gloves under this. These are mitts. Got this from a hardware store. These are like the construction worker mitts, kind of just have. These are a men's like XL, but I can put mitts under here. They get me through. They're leather gloves. I've had these for about 2 years. Get something that's going to keep you warm because you're going to need it. Now, the second set of gloves you're going to need are these. You can get some football gloves. You can get some baseball gloves. These are baseball winter gloves. So they're warmer than your typical like the vinyl textured feeling thing. These like have a leather grip to them here. These are warmer than the heat gear that you're going to see in any of the summer/spring gloves. Again, don't go out investing in some crazy ass thing. Just go to Marshalls, go to the sporting section and grab you, for the men's department, and grab you some $10 gloves. Don't go crazy. Don't break your bank over this. Just get those gloves. You're going to need a mouth guard. Now, if you're coming from a sport like track and field, you don't wear a mouth guard. Football, you have one. But if you're coming from football or rugby and you have one, you might want to get a new one because that sounds like it's nasty and old. Follow the instructions to get it set in your mouth. Don't just get a generic one and just bite into it. You need to mold it to your mouth. Bring it back up if you're afraid of losing it. The next side I'm going to list is called creepers. Definitely don't break the bank on these, but don't buy the cheap ones. The creepers that I'm talking about, you're going to use these to wear while you're walking down the ice. And when you walk down the ice, it's usually for a track walk. This is going to be the time where you're actually going to walk down the track, the ice chute, and look at the track, look at the curves, look at how it flows, look at the ice conditions, learn about what sliders are looking at when they're going down the ice. Obviously, at this point in your career, you don't know anything. So you're just an open book, and you're just looking and watching because the coach is going to say some stuff just to get you through it. They're not going to give you any secrets. They're not going to give you any fast lines or anything like that. You're just going down and looking at it. It's an experience. Now, this walk is going to start at the top. This track, Lake Placid, is a mile long. A mile long walking down ice doesn't seem like that arduous, but you're going downhill. When you go online and you're looking for creepers, ice creepers, get these. Or get the ones with like the hex screw in them. These look like they could kill you, but they work. Trust me, you do not want to go cheap and get like the ones you see at Marshalls that have like little coil on it or the little like tack at the bottom. Those don't work. They suck. And you're going to be like completely stressed out walking down. These look like overkill, but you're walking on ice and it's a mile long walk downhill and these are going to save you. some stress, some pain, the walk's gonna burn regardless, but like, so you don't worry about like wiping out the whole time. I bought the cheap ones because I was like, well, I don't need it, and yeah, I suffered the whole way through. I spent the whole walk down holding on to somebody's arm because I kept slipping. And it doesn't seem like that much, but again, like it's not necessary. Just get it. These are about 20 bucks on Amazon. If there's any one item I would say, you know, definitely don't skimp out on, just spend the 20 bucks on it, it's gonna be these. Go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross, get you some kids shin guards, some soccer shin guards in the kids department. Trust me. Back to the track walk. The coach is gonna have you guys all line up and get at the start of the track, top, and you're going to go on a track walk down the track to kind of look at the ice, look at the shape, look at the curves, kind of talk about it, maybe get a little bit of history, and so on. This is the point you can ask questions, you can kind of make some noted observations, but again, this is not the Olympic tryouts. This is just you learning about it. So don't get caught up in like, oh my gosh, like this is so much. Just be an open book. Just go with the flow, just kind of see stuff. You're literally just getting a taste of the sport and what goes into it. But don't get caught up in like what you need to do because they're going to go over that with you in a little bit. Now, before you actually do go down on the ice, whether it's the track walk or actually sliding, do your homework. Like school, do your homework. Look in advance, see what you're going to cover. You have a syllabus. Find a map of the track, Lake Placid. You can easily Google it. Look at it. Every track around the world is designed differently. Every track has a different, things, nuances that are unique to that track. So look in advance. When you're going to a track walk, take some notes. If you have any questions, whatever, that way if you have questions later on, you can ask the coach. And just be prepared. The whole thing is you want to look like you are trying to pay attention and learn something. You don't want to just show up and be like, wow, that was a lot. Because at that point, it's going to be too much. So you're going to start from start 4, your first time down. It's roughly in the middle of the track. And at the highest speed, you'll probably go 25 to 30, depending on the ice conditions. The biggest thing here is not to overanalyze, not to overdo it. You're just getting a feel. The best thing I can say is just to lay down. Don't move. Period. Just lay there. And again, it's easier said than done your first time down because you've never experienced like this and you're going to kind of freak out a little bit. The biggest thing I can say is just try to relax, breathe, don't tense up, just experience it. It's not going to be like anything else you've ever experienced before, so I can't give you like that type of visual or that kind of guidance, but everything's going to come at you really fast. So this is when the equipment pieces I mentioned before, what to bring, come into play. So the loose-fitting attire, the older gear, padding, shin guards, gloves, the appropriate gloves, all that stuff's going to come into play right now. Going down the track at this entrance, you're not going that fast, but when you brush a wall, it's still going to take off material from your clothes. So rather than it burn your skin, you want something that's going to catch a little bit and kind of give a little drag. So you're going to walk away with some holes in your clothes. Probably along the elbow, maybe along the ankle or your calf, depending on what part of the track you are having trouble spots in. So with that being said, it's really important to go back, like I mentioned before, and look at the track ahead of time. Understand that you're not going to memorize the entire thing because you're not really sure what you're looking for, but at the same time, understanding roughly what direction the curves are going. The more you do your homework beforehand, the better off you're going to be going down the track. So if you do end up at some point, which you will, bumping a wall, hitting a wall, whether it's square on, a brush, the idea is to not react to it. You want to try to absorb it as much as possible, but not tensing up too much, because then you're just going to ping pong bounce. So in driving school, typically, most progression is just a 2 starts. It's probably only a week long, depending on ice availability, coach availability, what's going on with the schedule, all that kind of stuff, and how the track is functioning at that time period. Start 4 is where you're going to start. Take a couple runs on there, maybe a day, maybe 2 days, depending how, the progression is. And then you may move up to start 3. Now, my biggest thing I like to say is do not let anyone pressure you to move up a start if you're not feeling comfortable. This is a sport that caters very specifically to your confidence level and how comfortable you feel. If you feel on edge or uncomfortable at any point, that compromises your ability to relax and your reaction to what's going on around you. There may be a point where certain athletes in the group may feel like they're grasping concepts quicker than you, or they might be excited to go up a star and kind of just take on the challenge head on. That's fine. Everyone progresses at a different rate, but do not let peer pressure force you into an uncomfortable position where you could possibly get hurt. Next point is understand that this sport is not for everyone. There are so many factors that come into play that affect an athlete's decision whether to stick it out or call it quits. And it's not a slight against anybody. It just depends on what you're willing to tolerate or what you're willing to go through as far as like the progression process. This camp is designed to see if you like sliding. Rookie Push Championships was just a camp to tell the coaches and let them know who is predisposed to understanding how to push a sled better in that time period. Again, over time, if you stick it out, you're going to learn how to push a sled. Driving school is a chance for you, the athlete, to see if you want to stick around and learn more about it. This is putting pedals in the middle, if you want to think of it that way. Getting on a sled, going down ice, in a rough simulation of what it would be like. And the utmost important thing about this whole video is listen to your coach. Don't listen to other rookies. You guys are on the same boat, trying to learn the same thing and expose the same information. If you have a question, ask the coach. If you are uncomfortable with something, talk to the coach. If you are around when there's other athletes who are veteran sliders who've been around for a few years and you want to get their personal insight on something, don't be afraid to ask them. But definitely do not cave into the peer pressure or the gossiping or telephone communication through the rookie group, because you guys are very limited in what knowledge you guys do have and what you're exposed to, because that can create some rumors and some misunderstandings that won't benefit anybody. So bring the appropriate gear, material, whatever fits your budget, whatever works for you, whatever you have. Don't get caught up in the grand scheme of everything. On the track walk, ask questions and take notes. Do your homework. Don't let anyone peer pressure you. You want to feel comfortable and confident. Understanding the sport is not for everybody. Camp is to see if you like sliding. Listen to your coach. Period. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Skeleton 101. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can definitely leave a message in the comments below or reach out to me on social media and send me a DM. This is definitely an open line of communication. I want you to be successful, or if you just have any questions about skeleton, slider or not, let me know. I will be happy to answer them to the best of my abilities, and if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. All this advice and this experience that I'm sharing, I share out of love because I want you to do well and I want you to have a great experience here. Again, much love, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes.